So we got ourselves a new franchise, the Waterloo Wave, and like every new franchise I bring into the NHL, they are full of 0 overall players. But even with all these 0 overall players, we're going to find a way to win a Stanley Cup here. And how are we going to do that? Well, through building the greatest team of all time. Now, how exactly are we going to build the greatest team of all time? Well, we're going to start with spinning this wheel right here, and we're going to be landing on the Ottawa Senators. I'm allowed to select the best active player from the Ottawa Senators, or the player who I think would be a best fit for this team. There is basically no restrictions in today's video. It's just me selecting the best players and building the greatest possible team. So right now we don't have any players on the Wave, but we do get to select one player from the Ottawa Senators, and who is that player going to be? Now, the 2 highest overalls on the team are Tim Stützle and Brady Tkachuk. When it comes to a goaltender, we could go with Linus Ullmark, or we could even bring a defenseman to the team in Jake Sanderson. But when it comes to a player that makes the most sense, it's actually not Linus Ullmark, and it's not Tim Stützle, but Brady Tkachuk. Now, why am I going with Brady Tkachuk over Tim Stützle when they're the same overall? Brady Tkachuk is a power forward. There is significantly more playmakers available in NHL 25 than there is power forwards. There really aren't that many power forwards in the league, and to find an elite power forward, that's even more difficult. So we're going to start off with 89 overall Brady Tkachuk. He's going to be the first player we bring to the team. Now, there's one thing that I haven't quite mentioned yet, and this is going to make today's video a little bit different. Now, normally when I add a player to the team, I just replicate that player, meaning there would be 2 Brady Tkachuks, one still on the Ottawa Senators, and then one on our team. That's not going to be happening today. Since I brought Brady Tkachuk to our team, he is no longer going to be on the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to send him to the Ottawa Senators alumni. We no longer have to play against Brady Tkachuk. The only Brady Tkachuk in the league is going to be the one on our team. So eventually, when we land on the Edmonton Oilers and I get to bring Connor McDavid to the team, Connor McDavid isn't going to also play for the Edmonton Oilers. He's only going to play on our team. And by doing this, we should be able to build the greatest team of all time and potentially even win 70 games. So Brady Tkachuk, welcome to the Wave here. You're going to be the lone NHL player playing alongside a bunch of 0 overalls. I need you to single-handedly turn this into the greatest team of all time. I don't care if you have absolutely nothing around you. 82-0 or bust this season. So while we go ahead and of course win absolutely every game here, go 82-0 and make this a really short video. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel. We're still trying to hit 86k by the end of the month. And if you don't subscribe, we won't be able to do that. What do you mean we allowed 43 goals in our first 2 games? That just doesn't seem right. Now, I guess it's going to be impossible to see whether or not this team goes 82-0 because the game froze and we're not going to be able to get to the end of the season, so we never know what the end result's going to be. Yes, you might have noticed that we allowed a lot of goals this season and didn't score too many, but you can't tell me exactly what the end result would have been because we'll never know what the end result was. Basically, all this yapping means we gotta go spin the wheel again. Now, of course, we don't want to be landing on the Ottawa Senators again, so I've eliminated them from the wheel. We're gonna be selecting from the New Jersey Devils next, and I already know who we're going with. Jack Hughes, welcome to the team. This one's a no-brainer. So as I just mentioned, of course, we're gonna be going with Jack Hughes here. He's the clear option, 94 overall, one of the best players in the game. Him alongside Brady Tkachuk, we might be able to take 2 shots this season. Outside of that, we're not gonna be doing too much though. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but we're really changing things up in this video. San Jose, instead of me eliminating you like always, or even the Chicago Blackhawks, we have to go with truly the worst organization in the league, an absolute poverty franchise, dare I say, a dumpster fire. We all know I was talking about the Buffalo Sabres when I was explaining that. Like when I was talking about a poverty franchise, an absolute dumpster fire, we all knew I was talking about the Buffalo Sabres. Also, yes, those are all of my created teams for all the videos I've made so far this year. There's a handful of them. Now, of course, it only makes sense for Jack Hughes and Brady Tkachuk to play on the first line together, and clearly these are the head coach preferred lines because there's no way he would run anything else. Nope, he definitely wouldn't run Brady Tkachuk as our second line centerman. No, he wouldn't do that. He would clearly have Brady Tkachuk and Jack Hughes on the first line together. Nah, like seriously, what is bro cooking up? Why on earth would you have Brady Tkachuk be our number 2 centerman when we have nobody else on this team outside of him and Jack Hughes? Just load up your top line. Give yourself a chance to score a goal, and that's what you're doing in game number 1. If I didn't put Brady Tkachuk, ain't no way the game already froze. The game is froze already. Alright then, season number 2 is now complete because the game froze 2 games in. After allowing 31 goals in a 2-game span, the game didn't know what to do. So yeah, that might actually be the fastest season in stick on the ice history. I don't think we've ever seen the game freeze that quickly. We're going to be selecting from the Florida Panthers next. We should be going with Barkov here. He's going to be the highest overall player. Sam Reinhart, I believe, is somewhat close. I think he's a 93 overall or something. So maybe we could go with him, but I think Barkov makes the most sense. So it's really between Barkov and Sam Reinhart. Sam Reinhart's only a 93 overall. He's also a playmaker. We already have a playmaker on the team in Jack Hughes, so we're going to go with Barkov here. 95 overall. I mean, at the end of the day, we should just go with the highest overall player. I feel like it makes the most sense. So 95 overall Barkov, you're going to be the guy joining the team and completing the first line. Now I can sort of understand where a coach's logic is. Jack Hughes is a centerman slash left winger. Barkov is a centerman, so you either have these guys in their primary or secondary position. That makes sense until you realize Brady Tkachuk is a left winger, so center isn't even a secondary position. So this is what we're going to do. Jack Hughes, you're not going to play second line minutes, you're going to play first line minutes. We're going to load up this top line, and we're going to see them score maybe 10 goals this season. I think 10 goals if we're lucky, because the only defensemen they have helping them out are 36 overalls, also known as 0 overalls. So yeah, there's basically only 3 players here that can pass the puck or shoot the puck. Okay, I think I was disrespecting our big 3 a little bit too much, because they are certainly a big 3 this season. Although they were 0-82, they scored 42 goals. I didn't think 3 players would be good enough to score 42 goals, but that's what we did this season. We're over half a goal per game. Brady Tkachuk 40 points, Jack Hughes 39, Barkov 39. I gotta give it up to these guys. They showed up in the big time moments. They played great this season. Everyone else was terrible except for Tom Majors, Kaz Kalinkis, and of course J-Rock, J to the ROC. He's showing up when it matters. Eric Hartman and Ricky LaFleur. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for you guys. Y'all were pretty mid this season. The Colorado Avalanche are going to be Stanley Cup champions. That's going to be us sooner than later. Also, the New Jersey Devils made to the Cup final without Jack Hughes. Definitely wasn't expecting that. Now, we're off to a pretty good start here, but I wouldn't mind bringing a superstar goaltender to the team. That actually worked out pretty good. Andrei Vasilevsky, I could bring you to the team here, but that means I have to pass up on Nikita Kucherov. And do I want to pass up on Nikita Kucherov? Now, this selection is actually probably going to be one of our toughest ones. Like, Andrei Vasilevsky, do I bring you to the team, or do I go with Nikita Kucherov? Nikita Kucherov is one of the best playmakers in the game, a 96 overall. However, Vasilevsky is one of the best goaltenders in the game, and a 93 overall. Do we want Vasilevsky, or do we want Nikita Kucherov here? This is a tough one. I'm kind of leaning towards Nikita Kucherov here, because in the event we land on the Winnipeg Jets, I could go with Connor Hellebuyck. He's a 94 overall, which is 1 overall better, but the second best option would be Kyle Connor, who's a 93 overall. So with the Winnipeg Jets example, I'm going to pass up on a 93 overall to select a 94 overall. With Tampa Bay, I'd be passing up on a 96 overall in order to take a 93 overall. So with all that being said, Nikita Kucherov, we're going to bring you to the team over Vasilevsky. Now our top 6 is really shaping up here. Like Nikita Kucherov, Barkov, and Jack Hughes on the top line. That's going to be an elite line. We then have Brady Tkachuk on the second line with these absolute superstars in Rigby and Mordecai. If you have Mordo and Riggs on the second line alongside Brady Tkachuk, yeah, you're definitely going to have problems there. And I don't mean problems in a good way. I'm not talking about for the other team. The other team is not going to have problems with that line. This line is going to have problems. Mordecai and Rigby are just going to mess things up here, and then Brady Tkachuk's going to be big dog chilling. Sometimes I really wonder what I'm doing in a video. Like, I'm just ranting about Mordecai and Rigby playing hockey alongside Brady Tkachuk. How did I get to this point? So with the addition of Nikita Kucherov, the team is going to score a few more goals this season. We're still 0-82, but 57 goals really isn't too bad for only 4 players. 0.7 goals per game, I'll certainly take it. Kucherov's going to lead the way with 49 points. That really shouldn't be much of a surprise. He's picking up 25 goals, and that's going to be a team high. Barkov 49 points as well. Jack Hughes 43. Meanwhile, Brady Tkachuk, he had 21 points alongside Mordecai and Rigby, but neither of those guys picked up any points. When it comes to our goaltending, I think that was actually worse this season. I don't really know how our goaltending is worse with me adding Nikita Kucherov to the team, but yeah, that's what's going to happen here. The defense on this team was worse. That doesn't really make too much sense. The Edmonton Oilers are Stanley Cup champions, as they're going to be taking down the New York Rangers. Now, I would like to start looking at bringing a defenseman to the team, maybe even a forward. When it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes, there's actually a handful of options, but I think we're going to end up going with a forward. So we're going to be selected from the Carolina Hurricanes next, and I really don't know who we're going to go with here. Sebastian Aho wouldn't be a bad pickup. He's a 91 overall. He can man our second line. However, Jacob Slavin kind of makes sense here. Like, eventually we're going to have to bring some defensemen to the team, and when you're talking about superstar defensemen, I can't think of many teams where their number one player is actually a defenseman. Like, teams such as the Vancouver Canucks and Columbus Blue Jackets come to mind. Zach Greinke and Quinn Hughes. When it comes to a team like the Colorado Avalanche, I'm not taking Cale Makar over Nathan McKinnon. When it comes to a team like the New York Rangers, I'm not going to take Adam Fox over Igor Shesterkin or maybe even Artemi Panarin. So when you have the option to select a guy like Jacob Slavin, who's an 89 overall, over 91 overall Sebastian Aho, I feel like it makes a little bit of sense. So Jacob Slavin, welcome to the team. You're going to be surrounded with a bunch of 0 overall defensemen. We are going to rely on you big time. You have to be the number one defenseman defenseman here, you have to be a savior for this team. So good luck with living up to those expectations. So the team's going to keep on getting better season in and season out, and we're finally up to a goal per game. Ignore who the second worst team in the entire league is. That's not fair. 1 goal per game for the Waterloo Wave. They're starting to lock in here. Nikita Kucherov, 37 goals and 33 helpers for 70 points. Jack Hughes is picking up 70 points as well, 21 goals and 49 assists. Barkov, 67 points. Brady Tkachuk, only 10 points this season. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what you were doing. You should have been significantly better than this. Slavin's picking up 4 goals and 5 assists for 9 points. Like, seriously, Brady Tkachuk, what were you doing out there? I know you were surrounded with 0 overall players, but even still, what happened here? Like, I actually have no clue what happened with you. Eric Hartman, you only lost 31 games this season. Ricky Lafleur, you lost 53. The goaltending numbers are still atrocious, but I think they actually were slightly better than last season. So we're slowly moving in the right direction here. You'll love to see it. The Winnipeg Jets are Stanley Cup champions, but not for long. Also, how on earth did Carolina make it to the Cup final without Slavin? Yeah, that just makes no sense. Like, I took away your best defenseman, and somehow that made you better, good enough to make it all the way to the Stanley Cup final. How on earth does that work? We landed on the LA Kings. We could potentially be taking another defenseman here, and don't be shocked if we do. Now, when it comes to the LA Kings, there's 2 players I'm looking at here. One of them being Drew Doughty, the other being Anze Kopitar. And considering Drew Doughty is only 1 overall lower than Kopitar, we're going to go with Doughty here. I'm willing to overlook an 89 overall forward in order to select an 88 overall defenseman. Drew Doughty, he's still going to be a really serviceable defenseman for us. In the future, he's likely going to play third pairing minutes, but right now, he's going to play some top pairing minutes with Jacob Slavin. So we got our first pairing defense, Jacob Slavin and Drew Doughty. Like, this is going to be a really good third pairing in the future, because I'm hoping that this is our third pairing. If we don't get any defensemen above a 90 overall, I don't think we're going to be the greatest team of all time, and I don't think we're going to be winning 70 games, because that is the goal for today's video. We're looking to win 70 games on top of winning a Stanley Cup. We have to build the greatest team of all time. And I'm not talking about breaking the win record by 1 or 2 games. No, I want to shatter it. I want to win 70 games with this team. So we continue to see progress with this team. We're up to 99 goals. Still haven't won a game, but that's just because we don't have a goaltender yet. Once we bring a goaltender to the team, things are going to completely change. We might even win 3 or 4 games immediately after bringing one in. Nikita Kucherov, 80 points. Barkov, 80 points. Jack Hughes, 74. Brady Tkachuk, you were slightly better this season, but you were so bad last season. Can I really call this slightly better? Slavin and Drew Doughty, you guys did what you had to. You played your roles here. And then when it comes to goaltending, we're going to pretend we didn't see those numbers because of how bad they are. The New York Rangers are Stanley Cup champions. I need either Shesterkin, Sorokin, or Halbach brought to the team this next spin. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I think Connor Halbach and Sorokin actually might be our 2 best options when it comes to goaltenders. Because based on players who we're going to have to pass up in order to get those 2 goaltenders, I would be perfectly fine with bringing those guys to the team. We're going to be landing on the Seattle Kraken, and for our 3rd straight player, it's going to be another defenseman. So our 3rd straight defenseman is going to be brought to the team, and it's a no-brainer. Vince Dunn, we're going with you. Why do I always pass up on Brandon Montour? Well, it has absolutely nothing to do with Brandon Montour. It has to do with the fact that Vince Dunn is a left and right defenseman. Brandon Montour is only a right defenseman. So does that really make any difference here? Probably not. But Vince Dunn, welcome to the team. St. Louis Blues legend, even though you only played 4 seasons with us. Now the defense is slowly shaping up here. Like, eventually in the future, this is kind of what I hope we're running. It's going to be Vince Dunn and Drew Doughty on the 3rd pairing. Then we're going to have Slavin on the 2nd pairing alongside 90 overall, and then like a 92 and a 93. Now once we get a goaltender here, things are going to completely change for us. We're going to continue to lose every game, but once we get a goaltender, we're winning 5 games, maybe even 10 games. Nobody's going to be able to stop this team once we get a goaltender and a bottom 6. I guess we also need a second line here and 3 defensemen. You know what? There's a lot of things we have to do before we start winning a ton of games here, but getting a goaltender would make a massive difference. Eric Hartman, although you have a sweet hockey body, and Ricky Lafleur, although you are the greatest goaltender of all time, we need a slight upgrade here. I don't really know how you can upgrade from the greatest goaltender of all time, but we're going to find a way to do so in today's video. The Toronto Maple Leafs are winning the Stanley Cup. It happens from time to time. So it's time for us to spin the wheel once again here and bring Connor McDavid to the team. Who needs a goaltender? The Anaheim Ducks. Now there are teams on this wheel that you don't really want to land on. I will be 100% honest, the Anaheim Ducks are one of those teams. So it's time for us to bring in a star from the Anaheim Ducks. And we're looking at Troy Terry. And probably Troy Terry. And likely only Troy Terry. We are bringing Troy Terry to the team. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lucas Dostal actually wouldn't be terrible here because he'd be a good backup goaltender. And do we do that? Because do I want to waste one of my forward spots on 86 overall Troy Terry? Hold on. I'm actually second guessing myself here. 86 overall Troy Terry versus 85 overall Lucas Dostal. As an 85 overall, Lucas Dostal can play good backup minutes for me. And if we have a super team in front of him, I think that's actually the move here. Because when it comes to every team in the NHL, Troy Terry is probably like one of the worst, best players you can get, if you know what I mean. So we're not going to take Troy Terry. Instead, we're going with 85 overall Lucas Dostal. He'll be our backup. But for right now, he's going to be the starter. Now, Lucas Dostal, you're going to be the starter here until we get either Connor Hellebuyck, Sorokin, or Shesterkin. If we can get any of those three guys right here, then you're moving to the backup role. Until then, you're going to be our starter and likely going to win this team their first game. If you don't win this team our first game, I'm going to cut you. And I'm not even going to replace you with a player. I'm just going to straight up cut you and you won't return to the team. We won back-to-back games in the first 4 games of the season. We beat the LA Kings and we beat the Florida Panthers. Don't worry, Lucas Dostal, you will be returning to this team. We also beat the Florida Panthers again. We've won 3 games so far. Yeah, Dostal, you don't have to worry about being cut from this team. You're going to be returning. We'll ignore the fact that we beat the St. Louis Blues. Now, Lucas Dostal, I didn't realize that not only you would help our defense here, but significantly help the offense. Because not only did we have a 10-70-2 record, Nikita Kucherov, he had 105 points this season. All we needed to do was give this man a goaltender, and he's going to pick up 55 goals and 50 assists for 105 points. Jack Hughes, 36 goals, 61 helpers, 97 points. Barkov, 92 points. And then we have the other guys here. They did what they could. They certainly weren't our top 3, because our top 3 were absolutely locked in. Meanwhile, when it comes to goaltending, Lucas Dostal, 10 wins, 1 shutout, a 902 and a 507. I need to know who he shut out. Now, I know for a fact it's probably the St. Louis Blues, but that's beside the point. I really need to know who this man shut out. The Washington Capitals are Stanley Cup champions. Who did we destroy? Now, on January 9th, 2025, the Wave took on the Ottawa Senators, and in that game, it was a 2-0 victory for the Wave. They shut out the Ottawa Senators. Y'all couldn't score in a team that didn't have a bottom 6 and only had 3 defensemen. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. We also didn't really have a second line here. Like, we only have Brady Tkachuk on our second line. How are y'all not scoring on 0 overalls? That makes no sense. Lucas Dostal, you're really him. Now, Lucas Dostal, you were the missing piece for us, but watch us replace you immediately here. Never mind, we're not going to be replacing him, but we're going to go with Nashville's #1 defenseman, the best player on their team, Roman Josi. Earlier in the video, I was talking about how there's very few teams where the best player is a defenseman. I said Vancouver, I said the Columbus Blue Jackets. I left the Nashville Predators out of that conversation. I definitely shouldn't have included them because Roman Josi's that man. Now, normally I have a problem with not having any defensemen on our team. That's actually the opposite of our problem today. We have so many defensemen on this team, we don't have enough forwards. We only have 4 forwards on the team so far, but we have 4 defensemen. So yeah, maybe we should start focusing on bringing some elite forwards to the team. I'm saying that like I didn't just pass up on Troy Terry last spin. But you know what? It worked out because Lucas Dostal is him. Alright, unless we get a top 3 goaltender with our next spin, we have to bring in a forward no matter what. Because our forward core is looking chopped. The defense is looking spectacular here, and even goaltending is looking really good with Lucas Dostal. But when it comes to our forward core, yeah, we gotta start adding some pieces here because this ain't it. Now, I think a little bit of reality set in with this team. Like, Nikita Kucherov shouldn't be picking up 100 points with the team that we have here. So the Waterloo Wave are going to be finishing with a 7-72-3 record. We weren't quite as good this season. Then again, Nikita Kucherov didn't have over 100 points here. He took a bit of a step back. Jack Hughes, 96 points. Barkov, 82. Roman Josi, you were a pretty solid addition to the team. 29 points, 5 goals, 24 helpers. At the end of the day, I wasn't really expecting you to save this team. And then when it comes to Lucas Dostal, 7 wins, 1 shutout, a 907 and a 458. So his goals against certainly is better this season, but I still don't think he's going to be the guy to win a 70 games here. He's definitely going to be good enough to be the backup here, but I'm not really too sure if he can be that guy for us. The Dallas Stars are winning the Stanley Cup, taking down the Florida Panthers. Let's go add an elite forward to the team, and ideally Connor McDavid. So let's go bring in Connor McDavid, land on the Edmonton Oilers, and make things simple here, or we can land on the San Jose Sharks. That's an option too. Now, surprisingly, San Jose is actually not the worst team in the world here. Like, yeah, Macklin Selbrini's not a superstar or anything, but an 87 overall playmaker isn't terrible. It's not good compared to some of the other superstars in the league, but I'll take an 87 overall forward for sure. He's going to end up playing bottom 6 minutes in the future, but for now, he's going to be a great upgrade. Now, I never thought I'd see the day, but we actually have 2 centermen on this team. Yes, you heard that right. 2 centermen on the Wave. Nah, things are really changing here. We only have 1 0 overall left in the top 6. I think we could win about 45 games this season. We only need 5 forwards, 4 defensemen, 1 goaltender. That's all we need. We only need 10 players on this team for us to see success. Am I yapping here? absolutely. Like, we're probably not winning 10 plus games. I could see at the very max us winning 12, but nothing higher than that. Now let's not trick ourselves into thinking that we're an elite team or something. We're still the worst team in the NHL, a 971-2 record, so we're not going to be hitting that 10-win milestone once again here. Kucherov was better, 98 points, Jack Hughes 82, but Barkov isn't going to be a point a game. He's only going to have 80. One thing I'm certainly noticing with this team is we need another sniper here. We actually don't have a true sniper on the team yet. Nikita Kucherov, although he picked up 44 goals, he's a playmaker. Jack Hughes, he's a playmaker. Barkov, he's a two-way forward. Celbrini's a playmaker, and then Brady Tkachuk's a power forward. We need a true sniper on this team. Like, we need somebody that's going to score some big-time goals. That's what we're desperately lacking. However, in saying that, if we land on the Edmonton Oilers, I'm not going to select Leon Draisaitl over Connor McDavid. I will always go with Connor McDavid no matter what. Now, we got to keep on adding superstar forwards to the team, and who's going to be the next one brought in? Nick Suzuki or Cole Caulfield? And I actually think we're going to go with Cole Caulfield. We need a sniper on the team. Nick Suzuki's a two-way forward. Give me Cole Caulfield. So we're finally bringing a sniper to the team in Cole Caulfield. We're going to be passing him on Montreal's best player, though, in Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki's actually a playmaker. For some reason, I thought he was a two-way forward. I don't know why I thought he was a two-way forward. He's a playmaker, but that's beside the point. Cole Caulfield, welcome to the team, 88 overall. You're going to be a great addition to our second line. So we finally have ourselves a complete top six, and we also have ourselves two defensive pairings that we can run here. I think there's a chance that we see a lot more success this season just because of that. Like, when our first line's on the ice, they're going to be on there with an elite defensive pairing. When our second line's on the ice, they're also going to be out there with an elite defensive pairing. Yeah, the bottom six is still terrible here, but I think having two good forward lines and two good defensive lines is going to make the difference. Okay, this was by far the most interesting season. So Waterloo's going to be dead last in the entire league. No surprise about that. A 15-66-1 record. Nikita Kucherov was incredible this season. 110 points. He was dominating. 50 goals, 60 assists, 110 points. Barkov 89 points. Jack Hughes 84. When it comes to our goaltending, I want to remind you who our goaltender is. It's Lucas Dostal, 15 wins, a 902 and a 453. This is where things just don't make sense to me. The Anaheim Ducks are Stanley Cup champions. Now, granted, they still have John Gibson, so they have a good goaltender, but how on earth did the 2025 Anaheim Ducks win a Stanley Cup? How did this team even make the playoffs, let alone win a Stanley Cup? Like, that makes no sense. Like, don't get me wrong, I still think John Gibson's a decent goaltender. Nathan MacKinnon, welcome to the team. This has nothing to do with John Gibson anymore. I don't care about John Gibson anymore. Nathan MacKinnon, welcome to the team. So as I was saying about John Gibson, because I feel like I should finish my point there. John Gibson, you're a good goaltender and all, don't get me wrong, but I didn't think you were good enough to carry that Anaheim Ducks team to a Stanley Cup, let alone the playoffs. Nah, you must have been elite during that run. But let's start focusing again on our team. Nathan MacKinnon, welcome to the team, a 96 overall. I don't care if you're a playmaker that scores goals for me, and that's all I care about. Now, I think this is a really good top six, and certainly a top six we can win with, but can we win 70 games with this top six? I don't know about that one. Kucherov, MacKinnon, and Barkov are elite. Don't get me wrong, the first line's basically set in stone, unless we get Connor McDavid in the future. Cole Caulfield, I don't know if you're really going to be a top six guy for us in the future. I hope not, because I feel like we should be able to get a better forward than an 88 overall. Even with Brady Tkachuk, ideally he's playing third, fourth line minutes in the future, because we just have so many 90 overalls on this team. When it comes to our defense, that's in a really good spot. We just need to bring in a couple more defensemen, and then goaltending, we need a superstar here. Now, Nathan MacKinnon was a massive help to this team. We're winning 21 games this season, a 21-59-2 record. We're getting close to 70 wins. All we have to do is win 49 more games, and then we'll be at 70. It's just that simple. 70 games in a season, it's not that ridiculous. No team has ever done it, and the closest team was 5 wins away, but that's beside the point, because we're going to build a team that can win 70 games. Nathan MacKinnon, 44 goals, 67 assists for 111 points. Nikita Kucherov, 93 points. Barkov, 76 points. Although we don't look like a 70-win team quite yet, eventually we will. Luke Stostel, 21 wins, 2 shots, a 914, a 364. We're working our way towards a 70-win season. The Washington Capitals are going to be Stanley Cup champions. Honestly, a guy like Ovi would be a great addition to the team, because you know for a fact he's going to find a way to put the puck in the back of the net. Now, an elite sniper is exactly what we're looking for here, so hopefully we can bring that to the team. Austin Matthews, welcome. You sim really well in NHL 25. You're going to be an amazing player, an amazing goal scorer for us. This is a difference maker. So Austin Matthews is going to be an incredible player to add to the team. He's one of the highest overalls in NHL 25, a 95 overall sniper. If we put him on the top line alongside Nathan MacKinnon and Kucherov, they might all pick up 100 points. So just look at this top line. Nathan MacKinnon, Kucherov, and Austin Matthews. They're going to be picking up tons of goals this season. Barkov, Jack Hughes, and Cole Caulfield on the second line. They should be able to produce as well. We're going to move Brady Tkachuk down to the bottom 6. He's going to be playing alongside Macklin Salbrini. I'm expecting a lot from this forward core this season. Now, this was a successful failure of a season. We're still dead last in the entire league, a 22, 56, and 4 record. However, we didn't have the worst offense in the entire league. We were better offensively than the San Jose Sharks. We were better offensively than the Montreal Canadiens, and that's about it. But we were better offensively than 2 teams. If that's not a success, I don't know what is. We're taking strides in the right direction. Nikita Kucherov, 97 points. Nathan MacKinnon, 96 points. Austin Matthews, 90 points, but you only had 30 goals. How on earth did you only have 30 goals here? You should have scored more goals than that. Like, Jack Hughes outscored you. He's playing second line minutes, and he took a fraction of the shots. He almost took 100 less shots than you. Now, that's wild. Jack Hughes, there's no way you should be scoring at that rate. Lucas Dostal, 22 wins, a 904 and a 391. We have to continue to work on the bottom 6 here, but bringing in a superstar goaltender wouldn't hurt either. Igor Shesterkin, I'm looking at you. So no matter what we bring in here, I'm just looking for a superstar player. Like, give me somebody elite like Alexander Ovechkin. Ovi, welcome to the team. Another superstar goal scorer. With him and Austin Matthews in our top 6, we're definitely going to be able to score some goals. With our last spin, we brought in Austin Matthews, one of the better goal scorers in the league. But now it's time to bring in the goal scorer, Alexander Ovechkin, the greatest goal scorer in NHL history. Welcome to the Waterloo Wave. Alright, now I expect big things from this team this season, like at least 30 wins. Nathan MacKinnon, Kucherov, and Austin Matthews. I'm giving you another shot on the first line. If you completely fold this season, Ovi's taking over on the first line. He's going to be playing alongside Jack Hughes and Barkov this season. I'm not afraid to move him up to the first line, though. We need a true goal scorer. That's what Ovi is. Maybe I should put him on the first line already. But you know what? Matthews is 4 overalls higher, so we're going to stick with him. The top 9 is looking incredible here. All we need is a fourth line, a couple defensemen, along with a goalie. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm incredibly disappointed. Once again, the Waterloo Wave are dead last in the entire league by 2 points. The only reason we're dead last is overtime losses here. We had a better offense than San Jose, a better offense than Anaheim, a better offense than LA, the Islanders, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Columbus Blue Jackets, New York Rangers, Seattle Kraken, Chicago Blackhawks, and even more. Like, we had a really good offense. We actually might have had one of the best offenses in the entire league. We did. We had the 4th best offense, but the worst defense. So once we fix that defense, I think we're going to be looking at 50, 60 wins, but that's not the goal. The goal is 70 wins because we have to be the greatest team of all time. Nathan MacKinnon, 116, Matthews, 106, Kucherov, 106. That's what I'm expecting from these guys right here. And then when it comes to goaltending, Lucas Dostal, you're doing everything you can with the defense in front of you. Like, the 4th line's terrible, the 3rd pairing defense is terrible, but that's going to be fixed pretty quick here. We're going to bring in a bit more support around you, and then we're going to be dialing in. We're going to win ourselves a Stanley Cup, and we're going to win 70 games. The Dallas Stars are Stanley Cup champions. Let's go add Miro Heiskanen to the team. But I shouldn't say we would select Miro Heiskanen from Dallas, because they also have Mikko Rantanen. That would be a good selection as well. This one's a no-brainer, though. Connor Hellebuyck, you're our starting goaltender moving forward. So we finally got ourselves our goaltender. That's going to be Connor Hellebuyck, 94 overall, the highest overall goaltender in the league. We got our superstar. Now all we have to do is give him a good defense and a good 4th line. Now, Connor Hellebuyck's going to be playing a majority of the games moving forward. Lucas Dostal, you're probably only going to be playing about 20 games a season. But in those 20 games, I'm going to need you to be absolutely elite. Like, I'm going to need you to have a win percentage above 80. I can't be having you drop a ton of games. Connor Hellebuyck, you know what your job is. Keep the puck out of the back of the net and win me some games. So it's finally happened. No, we haven't made the playoffs. The Colorado Avalanche actually missed the playoffs, finishing 10th in the entire league, but that's beside the point. We're going to be finishing 27th in the entire league. We were better than the Washington Capitals, Seattle Kraken, San Jose Sharks, Calgary Flames, and LA Kings. The Waterloo Wave are no longer the worst team in the NHL, and you just love to see it. Nathan MacKinnon, 106 points, Kucherov, 104, Matthews, I'm really contemplating moving you to the second line. I think Ovi would see more success on the first line, and moving into our next simulation, that's what I'm going to do. Ovi, you're going to get some first line minutes here. I'm going to try you on the first line. We're going to see what happens. Connor Hellebuyck, you did what you could this season. Like, at the end of the day, we still have a lot of 0 overalls on this team, so I wasn't expecting either you or Lucas Dostal to really carry the way here. There's a lot of improvements this team still needs, so I'm not expecting anything. How on earth did the Winnipeg Jets just win a Stanley Cup with Eric Comrie? That doesn't even make sense. I was unaware that Eric Comrie was him. I didn't realize he was that guy. Quinn Hughes from the Vancouver Canucks. That is definitely an acquisition for the defense. We're going to be bringing in a superstar defenseman here. Him and Roman Josi on the top pairing. Yeah, that's going to be elite. Now, Quinn Hughes, you're going to be an absolute superstar for us. You're definitely going to be a game changer. A 96 overall offensive defenseman. That's what we've been missing here. Originally, I was planning for him and Roman Josi to be on our top pairing, but both of them are left defensemen. I would just play Roman Josi out of position, but I'm not too sure if I want to do that. Roman Josi would be a really good second pairing defenseman for us. Slavin would be a really good third pairing defenseman for us. We'll see how things go this season. That will decide our line combinations. So I've moved Ovi up to the first line, but when it comes to our defensive pairings, this is what we're going to try. It's going to be Quinn Hughes and Drew Doughty on the top pairing, Vince Dunn and Roman Josi on the second, and then Jacob Slavin's going to be stuck with Mordecai. But I shouldn't really say he's stuck with Mordecai. He is lucky enough to get to play defensive minutes with Mordecai, because who wouldn't want to play some great defensive minutes with Mordo? Alright, maybe it's just me, but I feel like our team should be way better than this. Like, we're missing the playoffs once again. We're 20th in the entire league, a 41-36-5 record. I understand we don't have a fourth line, and I understand we're missing one defenseman here, but we're still not making the postseason. Like, I feel like we should be making the playoffs as at least a wild card team. Nathan McKinnon 113 points, Kucherov 106, Austin Matthews on the second line had 58 goals. Meanwhile, Alexander Ovechkin on the first line, he had 32 goals. It seems like it worked out better for both of these players. So Austin Matthews, I think I'm going to keep you on the second line. You saw more success there, so I think it makes sense. When it comes to goaltending, Connor Hellebuyck, 31 wins, 4 shutouts, a 9-12 and a 3-14. Meanwhile, Lucas Dostal, he's picking up 3 shutouts and 10 wins this season. I'm just amazed that we haven't made the playoffs yet. Like, I feel like this team is good enough to make the postseason. We're just not seeing it. The Carolina Hurricanes are once again going to be winning another Stanley Cup without Jacob Slavin. I don't know how they're doing that, but I gotta give respect where respect is due. Also, Colorado made the Cup final without Nathan McKinnon. Things are very weird in this universe. Now we have 1 defenseman and 3 forwards to select from. We're off to the Minnesota Wild to bring in Kirill Kaprizov. There's literally no reason I should consider this option. He's the #1 guy from Minnesota, and he's the guy we're bringing to the team. So we clearly don't have enough goal scoring on this team. So we're heading over to the Minnesota Wild. We're bringing in Kirill Kaprizov, another 95 overall sniper. We're bringing in all the elite snipers, so we shouldn't have any problem scoring goals in the future. Now I'm really contemplating putting Kirill Kaprizov on the top line alongside Nathan McKinnon, Nikita Kucherov. However, Ovi looked pretty solid there in the last simulation. Austin Matthews, Jack Hughes, and Kirill Kaprizov, you're going to hold down the second line. I'm actually going to have Jack Hughes play on the left wing, considering that's his secondary position. The third line looks phenomenal here. Like, we're slowly building a super team. I'm also going to have Roman Josi and Quinn Hughes play together on the first pairing. I just want to see how well that works out. Now, it took a while, but we're finally here. 4th in the entire league. How on earth are the Winnipeg Jets the best team in the NHL? I'm sorry. I can't ignore that. I have to go look at that Winnipeg Jets team because they're missing Connor Hellebuyck. Connor Hellebuyck is arguably the most important piece to that team. Our team was great this season. Hellebuyck was great. Like, I am 90% positive Connor Hellebuyck isn't on the Winnipeg Jets anymore, and he isn't. Why is Carter Hart here? They signed him in free agency. That's why. He's technically still a free agent, so the Winnipeg Jets signed him. That kind of makes sense because I did not understand how Eric Comrie, respectfully, was leading this team to 50 plus wins. That just didn't make sense to me. I understand how that team's winning 50 games now. Connor Hellebuyck, you did your thing for me. You're going to help us get into the postseason. We're taking on the Montreal Canadiens in the first round. I don't necessarily care too much about winning a Stanley Cup here because at the end of the day, the goal is 70 wins. So if we can pick up a Stanley Cup along the way, I wouldn't be against that, but it's not the true goal here. I mean, I shouldn't really say that because winning a Stanley Cup is one of our goals, but winning 70 games and a Stanley Cup in the same season, that's the main goal. But while we're trying to accomplish that feat, we might as well just win a Stanley Cup on the way. We have a 3-2 series lead on the Montreal Canadiens. We're closing out game number 6 and we're moving on to the second round. Entering the second round, it really shouldn't be too difficult of a matchup for us. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs without Austin Matthews. I don't really see how this team's going to be winning without Austin Matthews, but apparently they're dominating without Austin Matthews. That's an absolute shock to me. They've lost 2 in a row. Are they going to lose 3 straight games? Yes, they are. Are we making a 3-0 series comeback against the Toronto Maple Leafs? It doesn't look like it. We're going to fall in game 7. I was just amazed this team was able to compete with us without Austin Matthews. Like, William Nylander and Mitch Marner must have went crazy. Like, seriously, those boys in Toronto must have been absolutely locked in. Austin Matthews, you scored 3 goals in 13 games for me. You actually helped the Toronto Maple Leafs by not being on their team. That's kind of crazy. Max Pacioretty has 8 goals, 7 assists for 15 points. Willie has 7 goals. Mitch Marner has 11 points. Honestly, you can't make this up. David Kampf had 3 goals and 7 assists for 10 points. How many points did Austin Matthews have on our team? Because you can't make this up. He had 10 points as well. That's crazy. No, like, that's actually absurd. Ain't no way David Kampf is picking up as many points as Austin Matthews. We got ourselves the New York Islanders, and I think we're going to be bringing in our final defenseman here. Noah Dobson, I think you make the most sense. Now, if we had landed on the Islanders earlier in the video, I would have gone with Sorokin, and it wouldn't really have been much of a debate. But we already have 2 goaltenders here. We don't need another one. However, we could use another right defenseman. And Noah Dobson, you fit that role for us, so we're going to bring you to the team. 88 overall, Noah Dobson. You're going to end up playing third pairing minutes for me. I think you're going to be a stud for us. Now, we finally have a complete defensive core. Quinn Hughes and Noah Dobson, Drew Doughty, Roman Josi, Jacob Slavin, Vince Dunn. This is certainly a defense we can win 70 games with, but we're going to have to get lucky. Okay, originally I was thinking 70 games was going to be incredibly difficult. We won 63 games this season, and we have 2-0 overall still on the team. Yeah, we're definitely going to be breaking 70 wins here. The Waterloo Wave are looking incredible. Nathan McKinnon, 104 points. Nikita Kucherov, 104 as well. Alexander Ovechkin, 95. Austin Matthews, 92. And he's been really good on the second line, so that's where we're going to keep him. Kirill Kaprizov, 80 points. Jack Hughes, 80 points. We got ourselves a team here. When it comes to Connor Hellebuyck, 45 wins, 6 shots, a 925 and a 230. Meanwhile, Lucas Dostal, I need you to be better. If Lucas Dostal has an incredible season with a great save percentage and a great goals against, we're certainly going to be breaking that 70 win mark. When it comes to the postseason, I may have simulated 2 games already, and we might have beat Montreal in both of them. But yeah, let's jump into the postseason now. So we're just going to completely ignore the first 2 games we played. It's going to be a sweep over the Montreal Canadiens. Just kidding. We're losing game number 4, and we're losing game number 5. If you lose game 6 here, I'm going to lose my mind. Luckily, we're going to be closing out in game 6. But yeah, what is this team doing? We're moving on to the second round. We have the Ottawa Senators up next. I think we should hold our own with the Ottawa Senators, considering they don't have Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk's now playing third line minutes for me, but Ottawa's still putting up a fight here. We have to win game number 6. We're not doing this. We're not blowing a 3-1 series lead to the Ottawa Senators when they don't even have Brady Tkachuk on the team. We have Brady Tkachuk on our team, and we're choking. Roman Josi and Kucherov are picking up big time goals in the second period. We have to close it out in the third here, and we should be all right. Oh yeah, we're winning this one 6-1. So we're going to be taking down the Ottawa Senators here. We're moving into the conference finals to then take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus has got some decent players on the team, but I'm just not sure if they can compete with the Wave. Then again, we did split the first 4 games. Game 5 is a big one, and we're facing elimination. We won 63 games and have the best players in the NHL on our team. Yeah, we have 2-0 overall players, but I don't care about that. There is no team that should really be able to compete with us. Ain't no way we're going to go out like this. Kaprizov's picking up a goal with 22 seconds left. He's saving the day here, but we need to score the OT winner. And in overtime, Severson scored a shorthanded goal. You can't make this up. We lost to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm sick. Nothing wrong with the Columbus Blue Jackets, but we did not just go out like that. There is no way this team is losing to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Like, respectfully, that shouldn't be happening. Realistically, we shouldn't lose to anyone. Kucherov, 22 points. Nathan McKinnon, 18. Kirill Kaprizov, 18. I don't care about these numbers. Goaltending, Connor Hellebuyck, you're a fraud. Postseason Hellebuyck showed up here, and we can't have that. So we need 2 more forwards, and 2 more superstars would be amazing for us. The Calgary Flames don't really have a superstar, but they do have a couple guys that would be decent bottom 6 pieces. Now, although the Calgary Flames might not have a superstar for us to bring to the team, this isn't a bad team whatsoever to select from. Rasmus Anderson, Mackenzie Weegar, I'm going to pass upon you guys because we don't need defensemen. It's between Huberdeau and Kadri, and honestly, I think we go with Nazem Kadri here. He's a 2-way forward. We don't really need a playmaker for the 4th line. I feel like Kadri makes a bit more sense, especially since he's going to be playing alongside Celebrini. Now, we're 1 NHL player away from completing this team. Last season, we were 7 wins shy of 70 wins. I think with the new addition in Nazem Kadri, we're going to be very close to 70 this season, probably around 65, 66. I also wouldn't be surprised if we only won like 55 games this season. I feel like it could really go either way. Also, while we're at it, how about we win a Stanley Cup? I would ideally like to win a Stanley Cup before we win 70 games. Now we're almost there. The Waterloo Wave, 66 wins this season. However, we're yet to win a Stanley Cup, but that's about to change because we're going to win a Stanley Cup this season, and I am very confident in that. Do I have too much confidence? Absolutely, because there's no reason I should have this much confidence in this team when we are yet to see any postseason success. I don't know what it is about this team, but for some reason, they just don't show up when it matters. I don't really get it. Like, we have superstar on superstar on superstar, and we haven't won a Stanley Cup yet. If we don't win this season, then I truly think there's something wrong with this team. Like, I'm sorry, but there's just no way that we win 70 games before we win a Stanley Cup. That shouldn't even be possible. Somehow we're not sweeping the Philadelphia Flyers. Don't know how that works. We definitely should be sweeping this team. We're taking them down 5 games, and we're moving on to the second round. In the second round, we're going to see the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Tampa's going to put up a bigger fight. They have Vasilevsky in between the pipes. He's a great goaltender. We split the series with Tampa. I feel like we shouldn't be splitting the series with Tampa. We definitely shouldn't be trailing in the series heading into game number 6. With the amount of elite talent here, how are we trailing in the series entering round number 2? Cirelli's picking up the first goal of the game. There is no way this just happened. We lost 3-1 in the second round. They took us down in 6 games. What more do we need here? We won 66 games and we got smoked in the second round. You can't even make this up. Like, I'm sorry, but what more do we have to do here? We had 4-point-a-game players. You might as well say we had 6-point-a-game players because Matthews was 1 point shy and Ovi was 1 point shy. Connor Hellebuyck, are you just a complete and utter fraud? Yes, you are. We need Jordan Binnington. I'm sorry, but that's who we need. Like in the big time games, Binner's going to step up for us. Connor Hellebuyck's not doing that. We've prayed for times like this. We have been praying for times like this since the beginning of the video. Connor McDavid, welcome to the team. Now we finally have the superstar we've been looking for. Connor McDavid, you're going to be an absolute game changer for multiple reasons. One, you're going to be joining this team and you're going to be an amazing piece. But more importantly, I'm taking you off the Edmonton Oilers, so Edmonton's going to be even worse. So with the addition of McDavid and Edmonton getting worse, I think we can win 70 this season. So these are the lines we're going to run for our 70-win season. Connor McDavid, Nikita Kucherov, Kirill Kaprizov, Jack Hughes, Nathan McKinnon, Austin Matthews, Brady Tkachuk, Barkov, Ovi, Celebrini, Nazem Kadri, Cole Caulfield. When it comes to the defense, I always have to change these up because they want Roman Josi on the top pairing alongside Luke Hughes. Maybe that's the move here, but Noah Dobson alongside Quinn Hughes has been pretty good. Vince Dunn alongside Roman Josi's done really well, and Jacob Slavin and Drew Doughty have been an elite third pairing. And then when it comes to goaltending, you already know who we're running. We got Connor Hellebuyck, we have Lucas Dostal. We won 66 games last season. I don't see why we can't win 70 this season. I don't see why we can't win 70 this year. We added Connor McDavid. That means we took him off the Edmonton Oilers. We are by far the best team in the entire league. Let's go win 70. All right, Waterloo is full of absolute frauds this season. I don't really know what we were up to, but for some reason, we allowed like 20 more goals than we normally do. We finished with a 63-13-6 record. I don't know why we were significantly worse this season. I shouldn't use the word significantly worse because we only lost like an additional 2 games, but we should have won more games. We brought Connor McDavid to the team. He played on the top line. For some reason, this team's like, nah, we're not going to show up this season. We're just going to be complete and utter frauds. Quinn Hughes had 83 points when it comes to goaltending. This explains it all. I need a new goalie. Connor Hellebuyck, you are not my man. You are not the guy for us. You are a fraud. We all saw those numbers. What are we talking about here? Like, not only have we not won a Stanley Cup, but this man did not just post an 899. We are not, no, we're done. We are actually done here. Okay, we shut them out in back-to-back games. I wasn't even going to finish the postseason, but we just outscored them 14-0 in the past 2 games. So I will continue. I was going to stop right here and just immediately spin the wheel again. Because you shut them out in back-to-back games, we'll go to game number 5. You're winning game 5. We'll see if we can win game number 6 here. Yes, we can. So we won 4 in a row. You're lucky you shut them out in back-to-back games. I wasn't even going to finish this season. I was just going to immediately spin the wheel and move on because this team is an absolute joke. What are we doing here? We have 3 shutouts so far in the postseason. We might be going to game 7. And we are going to game 7. Like, the Toronto Maple Leafs without Austin Matthews are really going to beat this team. We scored the first 3 goals of the game, then allowed 3 unanswered. What is this team doing? They can't figure it out. I'm sick. I didn't watch this team allow 3 unanswered goals and then lose in the third period in the second round to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Igor Shesterkin, I am seriously considering bringing you to my team right now. Okay, so like 95 overall Panarin is available here. Yeah, we don't need another playmaker, but he's a 95 overall. However, if we take Shesterkin off their team, that means their number 1 goaltender is Jonathan Quick. We wouldn't have to worry about losing to the New York Rangers. That would be an additional 2 to 3 wins per season just by taking Shesterkin off the Rangers. He'd be an amazing backup goaltender. We would have a great tandem between him and Hellebuyck. Adam Fox also wouldn't be a terrible pickup here. He would help our defense quite a bit. You know what? I think we just have to keep this simple. We're going with 95 overall Panarin. We don't question it here. We just bring the 95 overall to the team, the best player available. I think that's the simple pick here. So this is what we're doing. Panarin, you're playing right wing minutes for me. You're going to be playing alongside Barkov and Ovi. I just want to point out that 95 overall Barkov is playing third line minutes for me. This team should definitely be able to win 70 games, but more importantly, this team should be able to win a Stanley Cup. It's not that difficult. I think one more superstar is all we need here. The Waterloo Wave, a 68-12-2 record, but maybe we need more than one more superstar because we haven't won a Stanley Cup yet. Connor McDavid 117 points, Nikita Kucherov 107, Austin Matthews 105, Kirill Kaprizov 102. None of this means anything. I don't even care about our goaltending numbers here. Win a Stanley Cup, please. It's not that difficult. Like, we have a better chance at winning 70 games than winning a Stanley Cup, and that shouldn't be possible. Like, realistically, we should probably sweep the postseason with how good of a team we are. We're going to take down the Washington Capitals. I think this might be our first sweep of the video. The fact that it has taken this long for us to sweep a team is a little bit ridiculous. We're taking on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been able to beat us a couple times, but we're going to pretend that hasn't happened in the past. 8-0 to start the postseason. It doesn't look like it because we're dropping game number 3, and we're dropping game number 5. What a surprise, we're about to drop game 6. Maybe this team has figured it out, but I highly doubt it. We're moving into the conference finals. We have the New Jersey Devils up next. At this point, I have zero faith in our team. Like, I just don't think we're going to be able to win a Stanley Cup, even though we should be able to. We're 12-3 entering the Stanley Cup final. This is what I've been expecting for a very long time. 16-3, and we finally win a Stanley Cup. It's finally happened. The Waterloo Wave are Stanley Cup champions, but the job's not done because we didn't win 70 games. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that we finally won a Stanley Cup here, but we should have won a Stanley Cup like 3 or 4 years ago. Nikita Kucherov, 29 points, 10 goals, 19 assists. McDavid, 24 points. Nathan McKinnon, 19 points. Quinn Hughes, 18. These guys were all elite. Like, the entire team was elite. And Connor Hellebuyck, 16 wins, 2 shouts, a 925 and a 201. These are the numbers I need from you during the regular season. What did you actually do for me during the regular season? I should probably take a look at your numbers. You had a 48-11-2 record, 6 shots, a 915, a 239. So yeah, give me your postseason numbers during the regular season, and we'll easily win 70 games. Also, now that I looked at those Connor Hellebuyck regular season numbers, did Lucas Dostal win every game he played? Because I think Connor Hellebuyck had about 13 losses, and didn't this team only lose 13 games? Lucas Dostal went 20-1. Connor Hellebuyck, you are a fraud. I just need you to win me a couple more games. Lucas Dostal did what he had to. He won 20 of 21 games he played. He posted a 935 and a 185. What are you doing? No, like, I'm really upset with this man Connor Hellebuyck for winning me a Stanley Cup. Why should I be upset about that? Sidney Crosby might have been the missing piece all along. We need a leader such as Sidney Crosby on this team. We need a veteran that knows what it takes to win games. I think Sidney Crosby's the missing piece. Now, Sidney Crosby, are you the missing piece here? 94 overall Sidney Crosby. It's crazy to say, but he's going to end up playing bottom 6 minutes for me. There is a chance this man plays on our 4th line. That's how good this team is. It's not that Sidney Crosby's bad. This team is just that good. Also, I thought this was really funny, and I just noticed it. We're $105 million over the salary cap. That happens. Okay, I think this team is good enough. Connor McDavid, Nikita Kucherov, Kirill Kaprizov, Sidney Crosby, Austin Matthews, Nathan McKinnon, Panarin, Barkov, Ovi, Brady Tkachuk, Jack Hughes, Cole Caulfield. This team right here should be good enough to see success. Our defense is good enough here. Like, we don't have to question that. Connor Hellebuyck, it all relies on you and you alone. Lucas Dostal went 20-1 last season. I can't expect him to do better than what he did last season. I need you to put up Lucas Dostal numbers. Honestly, I never thought I'd have to tell Connor Hellebuyck to put up Lucas Dostal numbers, but here we are. We finally did it. After winning a Stanley Cup last season, a 72-9-1 record, we've officially broke the 70-win mark. This took way too long. Then again, it really didn't, because by the time we completed our full team here and brought 20 NHL players to the team, we had to do what, an additional 3 wheel spins? That's not crazy. Connor McDavid, 112 points, Nikita Kucherov, 103, Nathan McKinnon, 99, Kirill Kaprizov, 96, Sidney Crosby, 92, and Austin Matthews, 84. Those are all of our point of game scores here. And then when it comes to goaltending, Lucas Dostal, you weren't quite as good this season, but Connor Hellebuyck put up Lucas Dostal numbers: 59 wins, 5 losses, 1 OT loss, 6 shouts, a 927 and a 193. There is only one thing left for us to do here, and that's win a Stanley Cup. We have the Ottawa Senators in the first round. It's time for the Wave to win one more. 70 wins is finally here, but we have to cap it off with a Stanley Cup. 16-0 in the postseason would be ideal. I don't expect that to happen, but that would be a perfect ending. We're sweeping the Ottawa Senators in round number 1. Of course, we're taking on Tampa in round number 2, and I expect Tampa to beat us. If any team's going to beat us, it's going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning, but maybe they can't. 8-0 to start off the postseason. Nobody can compete with us right now. We're taking on the New York Rangers in the conference finals. I need 8 more victories. I'm not asking too much here. Are we sweeping the New York Rangers? Our winning streak is finally coming to an end at 11 games, but let's start a new one here. We're taking the Rangers down, and we might even take on the Chicago Blackhawks in the Cup final, but no, we aren't. We have the Minnesota Wild instead. And yes, the Chicago Blackhawks made the Western Conference Finals. I have no clue how that happened, but it did happen. We have a 3-1 series lead on Minnesota, one more victory, and we're Stanley Cup champions, 16-2 in the postseason, a 70-win season. The Waterloo Wave are the greatest team of all time. Before we do anything, I just need to show y'all this. Like, the Chicago Blackhawks really made it to the conference finals. That team did that. It makes no sense how they did it, but they were able to. Nathan MacKinnon's going to lead the way, 27 points, 12 goals, 15 assists. Connor McDavid, 20 points. Sidney Crosby, 20 points. He was the difference maker. I shouldn't be surprised that Sid the Kid was the difference maker. And Connor Hellebuyck was really good. A 941 and a 166 in the postseason. His regular season numbers were incredible. There was two difference makers heading into this season. Connor Hellebuyck put up Lucas Dostal numbers. Yes, that happened for us. But Sid the Kid joined the team. One of the greatest players in NHL history. We needed that veteran presence, and we needed Sidney Crosby. And right after we added him, Stanley Cup champions, but also a 70-win season.